Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Fussball Fanatics. Very, very special day. It is match day 34 in the Bundesliga, which means it's the final day of the season, of course. And you might be wondering what's there to play for. Bayern Munich has already won the league. Uh, who cares? And normally that is the case. Normally there isn't like a lot of drama on the final day. However, this season, a huge relegation battle. We have the bottom three teams, St. Pauli, Heidenheim, and Wolfsburg, all tied with 26 points in the relegation zone. Bottom two teams get relegated. The team that finishes third to last will play in a relegation playoff with the third place team in Bundesliga 2. So basically, it gives you a chance to survive and remain in the Bundesliga versus the automatic relegation zone. So huge day today for those three teams. And this is a bit of a different style watch-along, I guess, that we're going to do today. We are going to follow closely the St. Pauli Wolfsburg game, and I'll give you the scenarios about everything that's going to happen today once we kick off here shortly. But let's do this. Before we get too deep into the stream, I want to thank you for tuning in. Thank you so much. If you are new to this channel, feel free to give us a follow or subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner on YouTube or Twitch. We're dual streaming today. Let me just double check that that's working, actually. Yes, we are. We're rolling on Twitch. Love it. Love to see it. And we should be cooking on YouTube. I did put a poll in the chat on YouTube. Let me know who you think is going to stay up in the Bundesliga, St. Pauli, Wolfsburg, or Heidenheim. And it's pretty cool how it worked out. St. Pauli and Wolfsburg do play each other, so that's the big game to watch today. So very excited for this. This will definitely be a different kind of watch-along. Like I said, we are going to follow St. Pauli Wolfsburg, but I have the Bundesliga goal arena stream up here, which is essentially like a whip-around show where they whip around to every goal that's scored around the stadium. So we're not going to follow one specific game necessarily. We're going to follow kind of everything at once here. So this will be more of like an interactive chat versus just watching one game and, that kind of style. I thought that'd be best since it's the final day and there's lots of moving pieces here. All the games kick off at once. But let me get the clock ready here. We are at St. Pauli Wolfsburg. That's probably the main game the goal arena is gonna have on the stream here. Just waiting for the ref. We're a minute late, everybody. All right, there we go. We've kicked off in the St. Pauli Wolfsburg game. I can, of course, give you starting lineups for this game here. But don't forget, give us a follow on X and Instagram at Fussball Fans TV. You're very welcome. My name is Grant, if you're just tuning in. Also want to thank Bino Boards as well. We are able to get an affiliate, a sponsor for the channel, which is amazing. If you don't know what Bino Boards is all about, it's basically like a flick football game. I actually have a Bino board here with me. I can show you at halftime. But you can use the code Bino Hakeem or use the link in the video description and you get 10% off if you would like a Bino board. I can show you at halftime how that works and everything. But very grateful for Bino Boards to be our affiliate. That's really, really cool. Thank you so much. It's a very ramshackle start. This basically is a channel that I'm starting to ramp up once we get to the World Cup. That'll be like our first big thing that we do. And then we'll cover the entirety of the Bundesliga next season. This season, it's kind of a full circle moment. We did follow on my own personal channel. I did do the opening day Leipzig and Bayern Munich, where Bayern won like 4-0 or something. So it's pretty cool that today we're doing a stream for the final day, full circle. Yeah, they're showing the Mainz Heidenheim game. Do you have a goal? Here come Mainz. Okay, don't forget to vote in the poll that I have. St. Pauli, Wolfsburg, Heidenheim. I want St. Pauli to stay up because I love St. Pauli. Everything that they stand for as a club is amazing. But who do I think is actually going to move on and be in the relegation playoff? My money is on Wolfsburg. I think Wolfsburg is going to be the team that's going to finish third to last. And then St. Pauli, Heidenheim are going to drop. But if I had to pick of who I want to stay up, it's definitely St. Pauli. Love St. Pauli. Be very sad to see them go, but if Wolfsburg stay up, that's cool too. I like the new rebrand that they did to Wolfsburg. I can show you that later. I wonder what's going on with Frankfurt Stuttgart. It says the game was delayed. That's very bizarre. I wonder what's going on there. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Apologies for morning voice / hair's a mess. I just woke up 30 minutes ago for the stream. It is early morning where I am from, so thank you for joining me this morning. Let's show you the games and all the matchups, and then I can tell you the scenarios. I should have it saved here. Let's see. I think I need to pull up this, and then window capture. Is this it? Yes. Beautiful. I can zoom in a little bit more to make it easier. Is that easier? A little bit, yes. So these are the current standings. Bayern, of course, already won the league. Dortmund has already qualified for Champions League, so they can't really do. They're stuck in second. RB Leipzig stuck in third place. They qualified for Champions League. But we do have spots in Europe up for grabs here. So Stuttgart, here's the scenario for Stuttgart for them to qualify for Champions League. They will qualify for Champions League if they win, and Hoffenheim does not win by at least 6 or more goals than Stuttgart does, and they have scored more goals than Hoffenheim overall. They can also draw, and Hoffenheim doesn't win. They can lose by a maximum of 5 goals, and Leverkusen does not win, and Hoffenheim loses. Keep track of that. Oh, we got a goal. Mainz. So Mainz up 1-0 on Heidenheim. Huge for Wolfsburg and or St. Pauli. More so for St. Pauli. So now a win for St. Pauli, and they would be in the relegation playoff now. They need Heidenheim to lose. Is his name Willem Tietz? Willem Tietz gets the goal for Mainz. Wow, that's a elementary goal right there. Just a soft cross in the box. Tietz is unmarked. I'm not sure how you missed Tietz, but he was unmarked in the box, and his heads at 1-0 Mainz. 7 minutes in. Perfect start for Mainz. It is a home game for Heidenheim, too, so you'd expect them to have a better start, but there we go. That's our first kind of swing here. This reminds me of Bayern Dortmund a couple seasons ago for the title. Not as thrilling, but this will be a fun watch just to keep track of everything. Okay, so for Hoffenheim now. So Hoffenheim currently in 5th place in a Europa League spot. So Hoffenheim will qualify for Champions League if they win and Stuttgart doesn't win, or if they score 6 or more goals than Stuttgart does and have scored more goals than Stuttgart in total, or they can draw and Stuttgart can lose. So it's definitely an easier route for Stuttgart. Just win and you're in, or they can draw and Hoffenheim doesn't win. Bayer Leverkusen will qualify for Champions League if they win and Stuttgart and Heidenheim both lose. So a bit more difficult route for Leverkusen, more likely to get into Europa League. We do have a goal. Union Berlin might be offsides. That's quite the mic pack that ref has on. Holy shnikes. What a ball by Karl Klaus. Wow, his own defender right into the goalie, and it's an empty net for Union Berlin. Yet the Augsburg defender right into his goalie, and it was an empty net. Oh, that's bad. That's bad luck. They haven't updated the score, so I don't know if they're going to call this offsides or what. I think they're going to count it here. I think they will. Yeah, 1-0. Union Berlin over Augsburg. Not a whole lot to play for either of the teams. They're stuck in the middle. They can't really do much. But as I was saying, Leverkusen, they do have a shot at Champions League, but it's going to be very, very difficult. They need Hoffenheim and Stuttgart to lose. Could happen. Odds are against them, but you never know. SC Freiburg, so they have a chance to qualify for the Conference League through the standings. Of course, Freiburg are in the Europa League final against Aston Villa. That game will be on the 20th of May, this Wednesday. But they will qualify for Conference League through the standings. So it's a bit of a safety net if they don't win Europa League. So if they win today, just win their game, and they're in Conference League, they can draw, but Frankfurt and Augsburg can't win. Or they could lose, and Frankfurt and Augsburg both lose or draw, but both end up with the worse goal differential than Freiburg. So it gets complicated if they lose. There's still a chance. But just win, and you're in Europe guaranteed next season, whether it's Conference League or Champions League if they win Europa League. Oh, it's Harry Kane. I mean, Harry Kane, dynamite. Yabba dabba doo. 1-0 Bayern over Köln. I've lost track of how many goals Harry Kane has scored this season in the Bundesliga. 33 goals, 5 assists for Harry Kane. Absolutely unreal. Bayern Munich have scored 118 goals this season. Just video game numbers for Bayern Munich this season. It's absolutely unreal. But good start for them. It's a home game. Bayern playing against Köln. Well, the goals are coming now. We got Borussia Mönchengladbach 1-0 over Heidenheim. Big goal for Leverkusen. Big goal for Leverkusen. They need Hoffenheim and Stuttgart to lose. But not a good start for Hoffenheim. They need a win today if they want to get into Champions League. It has been a great season for Hoffenheim. It's been a very, very good season for Hoffenheim, but you want to be greedy, right? I think they'd be happy with Europa League, but they want to be greedy and get into Champions League. All right, then let's finish up the scenarios here. So for Eintracht Frankfurt, currently in 8th place, they will qualify for the Conference League if they win and Freiburg loses, or they can draw and Freiburg loses and Augsburg does not win. And let me rephrase the first scenario. So Frankfurt can win and Freiburg doesn't win. So Freiburg could draw if Frankfurt wins, and they would get into the Conference League. Augsburg. Okay, they do have something to play for Augsburg. They will qualify for the Conference League if they win, and Freiburg and Frankfurt both do not win. Or they could draw, and Frankfurt loses, and Freiburg loses by at least 3 goals. So a bit more complicated for Augsburg to get in. I don't think they'll get in. I'd be very surprised. They're down 1-0. Oh boy, Harry Kane set piece. Oh! Yabba dabba doo. Harry Kane, 2 goals on the day. 2-0 Bayern over Köln. Ridiculous. Automatic Harry Kane. If he gets a chance in the box, automatic. Stuttgart get a goal. Big goal for Stuttgart for their Champions League hopes. 1-0 over Freiburg. Stuttgart have been an incredible story as well. Don't write off Stuttgart. I mean, I remember just, 2 seasons ago, might have been 3 seasons ago, they were in the relegation playoff. And then the following season, they were challenging for top 4. Now they're consistently in the top, I would say top 6 teams in the Bundesliga. They're consistently in that top zone. They're definitely not a a Bayern or a Dortmund tiered team, but definitely approaching the Leipzig territory of being in like third, fourth every year. So it'd be a big result for Stuttgart, Champions League again. Very, very big for them. But let's finish the scenarios. I apologize. I'm moving at the pace of a snail here. There's so much going on. They got goals galore. I think Bundesliga has like the most goals around the world in terms of goals scored. So that's for everything that I said before was for getting into Europe. Now let's talk about the relegation battle. So Wolfsburg will secure the relegation playoff if they win and Heidenheim doesn't win by at least 4 goals. The margin with which Wolfsburg wins or Heidenheim doesn't win by a maximum of 3 goals. Or they could draw and Heidenheim doesn't win. And then here's a tiebreaker for you. If Wolfsburg and Heidenheim end on the same points, goal difference, and goals scored, it will go down to head-to-head, which Wolfsburg would win as they have won and drawn versus Heidenheim this season. So they do have the tiebreakers. That's why I said at the start that I think Wolfsburg are going to go through. They had the tiebreakers, and they just need to just win their game, or they could draw, and they're through. Heidenheim would have to lose then, which they are currently losing. But the tiebreaker for me, that's huge. So I do think Wolfsburg will go through. Odds are with them. But we have seen crazier things happen. For FC Heidenheim, they will secure the relegation playoff if they win and St. Pauli and Wolfsburg draw, or if St. Pauli wins by a smaller margin than Heidenheim's victory, or if Wolfsburg wins but by at least 3 goals smaller margin than Heidenheim's victory. That's the only way they can get in. They have to win. They have to win and have that scenario happen. St. Pauli and Wolfsburg draw, or if the St. Pauli wins scenario. That's what they need to have happen today. St. Pauli, they have the worst odds here. So St. Pauli will secure the playoff relegation if they win and Heidenheim does not win, or Heidenheim do win, but by smaller margin than St. Pauli's victory. And there you go. That's all the scenarios for today. So this is how the relegation zone looks right now. As it stands, Wolfsburg would go to the playoff. St. Pauli and Heidenheim would be relegated. Still early days, though, in Matchday 34. Here's Köln! 2-1. Great finish. Little mini breakaway for Köln, and they bury their chance. 2-1. Köln don't have really anything to play for. 15th place. They're safe for next season. Definitely a bit of a tune-up game for Bayern Munich ahead of the DFB Pokal final, which I don't know when that game is going to be played. Next Saturday. Ooh. Yeah, we'll do a stream for that. I was worried that was going to be like midweek. We will definitely do a watch-along for that game. Bayern Stuttgart next Saturday, a week from today, 2 o'clock Eastern, right here on Fussball Fanatics. We'll, without a doubt, do it. Right, fantastic. Got through the scenarios. That was a mouthful. Still scoreless in our main game that we're watching today, St. Pauli and Wolfsburg. Seems a pretty 50-50 game. Wolfsburg had 50% of the possession. I just want to take a look at the statistics here. 60-40 Wolfsburg actually. Better XG. 0.06 to 0.03. Shots 2-1 for Wolfsburg. Oh, off the bar! St. Pauli, ring the bar. Ring my bell. Ring my bar. Oh, they cut away to a breakaway for Wolfsburg. And we got a goal for Borussia Mönchengladbach. 2-0 over Hoffenheim. And that's not what you want to see if you're a Hoffenheim fan today. Trying to get into Champions League. It's a big hill to climb. Down 2-0, 20 minutes in. A lot of work to do for Hoffenheim. It'd be a bit of a stinker on what was a great season for Hoffenheim. They held that top 4 spot for quite a long time. Right, we got a quarter for Wolfsburg. Christian Eriksen to take. The outswinger. Flick the lawn. Off the bar! Wow. Another chance. Cross will be another corner. Wow. St. Pauli and Wolfsburg both ring the bar. That hits the bar too, and it's in. It's Freiburg. Freiburg 1-0 over Leipzig. Huge goal for Freiburg and their hopes of playing in Europe next season. Like I said, it's their safety net. If they win today, they're in Conference League. So if they lose the Europa League final against Aston Villa, they have that safety net of, well, we're in Conference League at least. What was I going to look up? I was going to make a tweet. I have not made a tweet yet today. Let's make a tweet. Let's make a tweet. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Different style watch along today. Hopefully you're enjoying it at home. Let me know your thoughts. Oh, it's another goal for Bayern. Yabba dabba doo. It's Bischoff. 3-1 Bayern. This league is insane. All of the goals. It's unbelievable. 4 goals in 20 minutes in this Bayern-Cologne game. It's a repeat of, I mentioned the Bayern-Dortmund title race we had in the final day. Bayern did play Cologne, so a bit of a repeat of that game. That game was a lot closer. I remember it took a Jamal Musiala wonder goal to win that game for Bayern. Oh my goodness, we do have a penalty. Patrick Schick is going to take it for Leverkusen against Hamburg. I'm very glad that Hamburg is staying up in the Bundesliga this season. I love Hamburg. Insane fan base. Oh, it's saved! Patrick Schick is denied. Wow. Oh, I got another goal. Freiburg. It's 2-0. 2-0 over Leipzig. Wow, big. If that holds, big result for Freiburg. Disappointing from Leipzig, but they have nothing to play for today, so makes sense. I am wearing the Leipzig kit. I just wanted to wear something different. My goal is to collect all of the Bundesliga teams' kits. And, of course, I have Dortmund because they were the first team that I liked. I have a Bayern Munich kit. And then last year I got this Leipzig kit. I'm in the works There's this awesome website called Classic Football Shirts, and I've been peeping out some other Bundesliga kits. There's a Bayer Leverkusen one that looks cool, and then there's a Borussia Mönchengladbach one that'd be cool to add to the collection. But I just thought today let's just pop the Leipzig one on. Haven't worn it all year, so. And I know Leipzig is a very polarizing team. I mean no harm in that. I totally understand that they're not the same as a Freiburg or Dortmund or any other team. But just bear with me for that, right? I just wanted to wear something different today, so don't give me hate in the comments. Don't give me hate, please. I mean no harm. I just wanted to wear something different for the stream today. But if you are just tuning in, I really do appreciate it. Make sure you give us a follow, bottom right-hand corner on YouTube, or you can follow us on Twitch. And if you are on YouTube, I did put a poll in the chat. Who do you think is going to survive the Bundesliga? St. Pauli, Wolfsburg, or Hoffenheim? St. Pauli and Wolfsburg are playing each other. It is still scoreless. But, of course, we are keeping track of all the games happening right now. There's a chance for Wolfsburg. Good save. Bear with me as I write a tweet here. But yeah, let me know who do you think is going to stay up. Let me know your favorite team. Could be Bundesliga team, could be not. I do know there is an FA Cup final game today. Man City. Is it Man City Chelsea? I think. We'll keep track of that too. Oh, Werder Bremen. Oh, he's offsides. I was going to say that's a great set piece, but just offsides for Werder Bremen. Playing Borussia Dortmund today. Yeah. That's pretty clear he's offsides. Stevie Wonder would have figured that out, that goal's offsides. It was that egregious. Here come Heidenheim. Oh, off the bar. Another shot gets blocked. Oh, my goodness. All three teams fighting to stay up in the Bundesliga today have rained the crossbar. That's wild. Heidenheim, St. Pauli, Wolfsburg all have hit the crossbar today. I apologize for my slowness of making tweets. I am a grandpa when it comes to all this Twitter stuff. Yeah, it looks like Freiburg will hold the final European spot by getting in Conference League next season, unless they absolutely blow it to Leipzig. Which, look, it could happen. This league, if you're new to Bundesliga, it's just a goal fest. So, like, a 2-0 lead, Leipzig are totally capable and have the players to come back in that game. So don't write that game off. I think you could write the Bayern Köln game off. It's completely meaningless, but I don't see Bayern losing to Köln up 3-1. The Hoffenheim game, they're down 2-0 to Gladbach. I'm sort of writing that off. I don't know. Hoffenheim is on the road. That's tough. And they've kind of been struggling the second half of the season. Definitely a first season team, Hoffenheim. Ever since the calendars changed to 2026, they've really struggled. But here we go. We have a set piece for Christian Eriksen in Wolfsburg here. 32nd minute. Goes for goal. Pretty easy for the St. Pauli keeper. Pretty easy. All right, there we go. We got a tweet. I'm still trying to learn names, too, of all these players in the Bundesliga. Vasilj, the goalkeeper for St. Pauli. Good punch. Corner kick for Wolfsburg here. Well, here we go. Here come Leipzig, actually. There we go. What did I say? What did I say? You don't write off Leipzig. Don't write off Leipzig. 2-1. Look really nice in those new kits, by the way. I might have to get one of those. Oh, wow. I didn't realize that. What a finish as well. Uedrogo with a great finish. Just curls it to that far right post. Cut it back. Left foot. Curls it far right post and in. Beautiful goal by Uedrogo. But the announcer said this would be the highest point total Leipzig have ever had in their history in the Bundesliga if they get a win today, which I didn't realize. So they'd have 68 points. I thought there was one year where they had more than that, but obviously they know better. Fatty, Gable, Bale, whatever that person said. Thank you for commenting. I don't know what that says. It's in a foreign language. But thank you for commenting. Thank you so much. Another chance here for St. Pauli. They are in a corner. Oh, it's the goalkeeper for Wolfsburg. I forgot his name. He reminds me of Zorro, if you've ever seen that movie. Grabara. I think it's Zorro, right? The sword guy with the mask. The Legend of Zorro. Yeah, yep. For people that don't know what I'm talking about here, Legend of Zorro. I remember I watched this movie in a communications class one year in high school. But Grabara, the keeper for Wolfsburg, wears that like face mask. And every time I see that, I always think of Zorro. He was, I forgot the premise of that. He's like a vigilante type, like solves or like saves people, solves crime on his own kind of thing. And like when he kills someone, or he might be a bad guy actually. I forgot what it was. If he's a bad guy or a villain, or if he like saves people. But I remember when he killed people, or like he might have robbed them actually. He wrote a Z on, like, he carved a Z in their house or whatever for Zorro, saying Zorro was here. Just a bit creepy. Still 1-0 Mainz over Heidenheim. So nothing has changed really in the relegation zone here. Wolfsburg, we're already moving on today. And then St. Pauli, Heidenheim were going down, so nothing has changed. But I tell you what, Heidenheim, I do make fun of them quite a bit. But Heidenheim is definitely a team that's capable of scoring goals. 41 goals this season. Their problem is they can't keep the ball out of their net. Heidenheim can definitely score. It's just the defensive side of the game has not been great. Corner for Wolfsburg, and it's in! Kurakis. I butchered that name, but Kurakis, off the corner kick, gets the goal 1-0 for Wolfsburg. Massive goal. Devastating goal for Heidenheim and St. Pauli. 3 points clear now in that relegation playoff. Great set piece. Just heads it. Vasila, the keeper for St. Pauli. Just can't get to that ball in time. It was a great flick. Yeah, good point. So Heidenheim fans just found out that Wolfsburg has scored. If you're a Heidenheim fan, I think the best scenario for you guys is St. Pauli and if Wolfsburg draw, and then you guys win. I think that's probably the best chance you guys have. So you're now rooting for St. Pauli to draw that game. Why? Look at I don't understand what's going on with Siri, man. So I'm watching this game on an Apple TV, and Siri just got activated, and it's telling me that Fluminense are playing Sao Paulo today at 5 o'clock. Who cares? I love Fluminense, of course, but we're watching Bundesliga, Siri. It's Bundesliga. This ain't what's the Brazil league name? I don't even know the name of the Brazil league. That is annoying. I don't know why it does that. So we're watching Heidenheim Mainz here. I got to update the score. Grant, update the score. 1-0 Wolfsburg. There we go. Big goal for Wolfsburg. Chance there for Heidenheim. Wouldn't go. But if you are just doing the channel, thank you so much for watching. This is a brand new channel that I've been, I contemplated about doing for a long time, a very long time. I would say 3 years. And it just felt right to do it now, to start it now. World Cup is coming up. We're less than a month away, I think. I think the first game is Mexico, South Africa on June 11th. So very excited for that. I'm so giddy. I love the World Cup. It's just the best time ever. Excited that it's in North America, of course. The start times will be nice. But yeah, I remember the Qatar one was weird because that was in December, and the start times were like just bizarre because it's on the other side of the world. The Russia one, the one before that, wasn't too bad. I like the Russia World Cup. I thought that was fun. Of course, I don't think anything for me, at least, is going to top that Brazil World Cup. I think that is just the best World Cup that we've ever had. And it's kind of, I felt like the last World Cup for me at least, where like the world felt like pretty normal. I was in ninth grade, so I mean it's different, but the world just felt like a more chill place in 2014 than it does now. But we have a goal here. Union Berlin doubles their lead, 2-0 over Augsburg. Tough result for Augsburg. They had a chance to get into Europe this season via Conference League, but it looks like that might not happen. Here come Mainz to double their lead. Empty net. Shoot it. There we go. 2-0 for Mainz. Absolutely devastating for Heidenheim. Optional defending from Heidenheim again. At home as well, Heidenheim. That's tough. That is tough. Like I said, folks, it's the Bundesliga. Anything can happen. So, 2-0 lead. Worst lead in football. I always like to say the 2-0 lead. So, we'll see if we're approaching halftime here. We'll see if Heidenheim can bounce back here, but not a good start at all. At home in a game that they must win to stay up in the Bundesliga. Very shocking. Very, very shocking. And Mainz, a team, again, playing spoilers on the final day. If you remember, it was Mainz who ruined it for Borussia Dortmund on the road at the Signal Iduna Park. And they're doing it again to Heidenheim. So Mainz are like home wreckers. That's basically what they are. On the final day, if you have a chance to win Bundesliga or trying to stay up, Mainz will be your home wreckers and absolutely ruin it for you. That's hilarious. That's my new nickname for Mainz. I'm going to call them the home wreckers. Crazy, crazy stuff. So 2-0, 44th minute here. Here comes St. Pauli, though. This looks good. I'm rooting for St. Pauli here. So they need 2 goals, and they would move on. At least to the playoff. That's the funny thing. All 3 of these teams could get relegated. That's the funny part. You're basically playing for an extra chance for that playoff game to stay up. So, I mean, theoretically, all 3 of these teams could go down. And I tell you what, Bundesliga 2 this season has been awfully, awfully, awfully tight. Had to make a tweet about the Mainz home wreckers thing. I think that's hilarious. Halftime in Wolfsburg, St. Pauli, 1-0 for Wolfsburg. I tell you what, that half flew by. Holy crap. That half flew by. So 1-0 Wolfsburg. We're still going on here. Heidenheim and Mainz. If they could get a goal here before halftime, that'd be massive for Heidenheim. Good ball. Here come Heidenheim. Cross to no one. That was a good ball, but no one there. Another cross. And it's going to be a corner kick. Big corner here for Heidenheim. I like their kits, Heidenheim. A lot of teams in the Bundesliga have really good designs. Crap corner. What was that? That was horrible. Low and hard front post. Horrible. And that'll do it. That's halftime. 2-0 lead for Mainz. Bit surprising, sort of. Not really. Mainz, pretty solid team. Yeah, Tietz got the goal. Tietz with the goal in the 7th minute, and then Amiri in the 43rd. The goals for Mainz. I'll never forget Tietz. Who could? (3-1) Bayern Cologne at the Allianz. What's it? The Allianz Arena? I think is what it's called. Definitely a bucket list item for me is to visit all of these stadiums and to go to a game. If I'm ever in Germany again, definitely will have to go. Set piece here for Köln. Once this ends, we'll take a look at the standings once again. Here comes the cross, cleared away. Here's Luis Diaz. Ooh, gets dispossessed, but Harry Kane to the rescue. God, I love Harry Kane's game so much. Not only does he put the ball in the back of the net, but his ability to drop back and play defense and to be a playmaker is just world class. Just absolutely world class. And you love to see it from a striker who puts in that amount of effort day in and day out to track back and everything. Just incredible stuff from Mr. Harry Kane. We got a corner kick for Köln. Is it Cologne or Köln? I've heard it pronounced both ways. I say Köln. It might be Cologne. I don't know. Let me know in the chat. Cologne or Köln. I've always liked Köln. I'm a big fan of goats. Their logo or mascot's a goat. It's got to be one of the few professional teams that has a animal in the logo, like a farm animal in the logo, like a goat. I can't think of another team that has a goat or like a cow or like a sheep in their logo. I'm sure there is. Maybe in like Austria, I'm sure some like Austrian team or Switzerland team in like the second or third league has like a sheep as their logo or something, but it's a fantastic look. That's halftime at the Allianz, 3-1 for Bayern Munich. No surprise there. Harry Kane, 2 goals. Bischoff, the 3rd goal. Still going. A couple more games still going on here. The Stuttgart-Frankfurt game, we had a delay in that game. I still don't know what that was about. But that's why this game is still going on here. We are in the 45th minute. We're in 1 minute of stoppage time. 4 minutes added on. 1-0 for Stuttgart over Frankfurt. Frankfurt Stadium, it reminds me a lot of BC Place in Vancouver. Same kind of roof with like the scoreboard in the middle, and then you have like it's like the spokes of a bicycle, or like holding it up essentially. I think it's a cool design. My problem with it is that look at the shadows. The shadows are really annoying. But it looks really cool. Stuttgart and Frankfurt definitely have something to play for today. Stuttgart trying to get into Champions League. If this holds, they are in Champions League. Frankfurt trying to get into Conference League. They need to win, and then Freiburg needs to lose, which is not happening. Freiburg up 2-1 on Leipzig. But as I was mentioning, Bundesliga 2 this year has been awfully tight with the standings. I was going to look that up, then I got distracted. Bundesliga. Let's look up FOTMob, and I'll look up Bundesliga 2. So Bundesliga 2, I love how Germany sets this up. So today is the final day of Bundesliga. All games kick off at the same time. Tomorrow is the final day of Bundesliga 2. All games kick off in the same time. I like that. They create the drama. So now Schalke is already going to be promoted next season, which is awesome. Love that, because then we have the Schalke Dortmund rivalry game, the Riviera Derby, I think is what it's called back. Riviera Derby. And then we have a 3-horse race for 2 spots. Elversberg on 59 points. Another goal. Stuttgart. Marte. Not the zebra from Madagascar, but the player for Stuttgart. Great goal for Marte. 2-0 over Frankfurt. On the road to Champions League, Stuttgart. And it looks like that's what's going to happen. I don't see Stuttgart blowing this. Stuttgart would need to blow this, and then Hoffenheim would need to win their game, and they're down 2-0. So it looks like Champions League gets kind of sorted out here. It sorted itself out pretty fast. We'll see, though. Like I said, 2-0 lead, the worst lead in sports. Good finish, though. Good finish. The Renaissance man, they call him, Marte. The coach for Frankfurt. It's okay, man. It's okay. You're fine. You're fine. There we go. Halftime in Stuttgart. Or sorry, halftime in Frankfurt. 2-0 for Stuttgart. I apologize. It's Nicholas Narte with an N, not an M like Marty from Madagascar. It's Narte. Okay, so all the games are in halftime. Very good stuff. I'll stop the clock. Let's take a look at the current standings. So as it stands at halftime, this is what is going to happen in the Bundesliga. Bayern in first, Dortmund in second, Leipzig in third. Stuttgart would take the final Champions League spot. Hoffenheim, their consolation prize is that they get into Europa League. Leverkusen, as it stands, will get into Europa League. Not bad. And then Freiburg would take the last Conference League spot. However, I think if they win that Europa League final, and someone can let me know at home, I believe if they win that Europa League final, they would forfeit that Conference League spot to Frankfurt. Yes. The next team up, I believe. Someone can let me know. If they lose, then obviously Freiburg would be in Conference League. But it's nice that they have that safety net, Freiburg, either Champions League or Conference League. Honestly, it'd be cool if they're in Champions League. I can't imagine Freiburg doing much in Champions League. It'd be a very, very big Cinderella story if they made a run, but I don't see it. You never know. Frankfurt in 8th because they're losing 2-0. Augsburg in 9th, down 2-0. Mainz in 10th, winning 2-0. Union Berlin in 11th, winning 2-0. I want to give a shout out to their coach. I forgot her name. The manager for Union Berlin. If it's going to tell me. Maybe in squad. Marie-Louise Etta. Big shout out to her. First female coach to coach any of the big teams in Europe, of the big 5 leagues in Europe. Props to her. Got her first win, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago. Last week against Mainz. Big win for the team and for her as well. Huge congrats to her, Marie. Big props. We'll see what happens next season. I would think they would keep her as head coach. I think she's on in like an interim status now because they fired their coach mid-season. I think she would just remain the coach, but we'll see. Gladbach in 12th place, Hamburger 13th place, Werder Bremen 14th, Köln in 15th, and then the relegation battle, Wolfsburg up 1-0. So they are in the relegation playoff. St. Pauli and Heidenheim would drop into Bundesliga 2. Very sad for St. Pauli. How this could all shift, I don't see Heidenheim coming back. We'll see what coach says in the locker room. Basically 45 minutes left in their season to save themselves, which is a huge motivator. So we'll see if they come out with some fire, with some pop. What I think is going to happen, I think Heidenheim is buried. I don't see them doing anything, realistically speaking. St. Pauli, all they would need... St. Pauli needs to win. They need 2 goals. Wolfsburg, a draw would be sufficient because they would hold the tiebreaker over St. Pauli. So a win or a draw for Wolfsburg, and they get that playoff game. St. Pauli need to win outright. So definitely still in the cards. But in terms of all the drama happening today, I think top 4 is sorted. I don't think we're going to see much movement there. Europa League, I believe, is sorted. Hoffenheim, Leverkusen, no one can catch them. So I think that's your Europa League. Conference League, I believe, is could be sorted out. Freiburg could lose. They are playing Leipzig. Leipzig did get that goal to make it 2-1, so we'll see. However, Frankfurt down 2-0, Augsburg down 2-0 are chasing them. So I don't see them coming back. So I think Freiburg have kind of locked up Conference League. I don't see much movement there. So I think European football has basically been sorted. The only movement I think we're going to see is Wolfsburg or St. Pauli in that game, if St. Pauli can come back and win the game. But other than that, I think this is kind of what your standings are going to look like. But we'll see it. I mean, Bundesliga knows drama. We'll see if anything changes here. I was going to take a break for halftime, but I feel like we're going to start up pretty soon here. One thing I did want to show you was Bino board. I can show you that here. Let's take a look at the poll. Wow, so we got Heidenheim. Oh, we're back. I told you, a quick halftime. Right, second half has kicked off. The clock there is more of a guide for you guys. Hoffenheim down to 10 men. How does that happen? I need to see this again. How did that guy get sent off? Lampera got a second yellow card, so he's going to be sent off. Yeah, what? I've never seen this before. Off the reset. No way. He basically just body checked someone. No way is that a yellow. That Gladbach defender got in his way and he just ran into him. I think that's pretty harsh. Still stupid for that Hoffenheim player to do. No reason to do that, especially if you're on a yellow card. Never give the referee a choice to send you off. Now down to 10 men, down 2-0 on the road. I don't see that ending well for them trying to get into Champions League. So I think we can write Hoffenheim off to Europa League. Leverkusen, Hamburg here. Almost a handball. We have the poll in the chat. Who's going to stay up? 50 say St. Pauli and 50 say Heidenheim. No one said Wolfsburg. Was I the only one who said Wolfsburg? I thought they had the best chance. But I appreciate everybody tuning in. If you are new to this channel, feel free to subscribe or give us a follow. Bottom right-hand corner. We're live on YouTube and Twitch today. So hello to all of the wonderful people on Twitch. I know it's not a... I don't know. I feel like it's not a place to do watch-alongs on, but I thought, why not give it a chance? I know it's more so for gaming. I do have a couple ideas of things we could do for gaming on the channel. I do have FIFA 26, and with the World Cup approaching shortly, I thought it'd be fun to do like a World Cup run. So you pick one team, right? And then you do like, I'm not going to do the group phase part. That's boring. Let's just go right into the knockout games. So I basically am going to pick, I'll be England, right? And then we just go into the knockout phases and see how far I can go with England. Or maybe we pick like a Morocco or the US or Germany and see how far we can go and just kind of do series like that very quick. That'd be fun to do. I suck at FIFA, so I doubt I will win the World Cup with anyone, but you never know. Heidenheim asking for what? Handball, I think. Freiburg, Leipzig. You know what Leipzig kits remind me of? Oh, what a flick. 3-1 Freiburg. Ginta. Matthias Ginta. I believe it was off a corner kick. Flicked it with his foot. I forgot the name of the Leipzig keeper, but flicked it past him. 3-1. Well on their way to Conference League. Is it like Blaumann? It used to be like Blaumann. Or that's Hoffenheim. Baumann's Hoffenheim. Van de Voort is Leipzig. That's tough. No handball for Heidenheim. But they got a lot of good players, Leipzig. Diamande, Odrago, Baku. A lot of good players. It looks like Heidenheim Stadium is just like in the middle of the forest. I love it. But yeah, give us a follow, YouTube and Twitch. We're on social media. The Twitter is and Instagram. It's the same handle, luckily, at Fussball Fans TV. Speaking of Twitter, let me make a new one. New tweet. This will work. Sweet. Chance there for Mainz over the bar. As I said in the first half, Mainz are just home wreckers, man. Ruin Dortmund's chances on the final day. Ruining Heidenheim's on the final day. Back at Wolfsburg St. Pauli. I gotta say, I like the goal arena. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I don't know if it's available where you are, but at least in the States, they have this thing called the goal arena, where it's like a whip around show. They whip around to all the games that are going on right now. It's kind of like NFL Red Zone if you ever watched that. But it works beautifully. You whip around, you get to see all the goals happen. I thought it'd be best to do that today since there's like so much moving pieces and lots of scenarios. I thought let's just do the whip around show versus just watching one game, make it more fun. But yeah, in my own time when I watch Bundesliga, I try to do the whip around show. It's fun. I think the Premier League does that. I think they do that. The goal rush. MLS tries to do it, but MLS is so bad with the scheduling. Like they don't know how to schedule games. Like, it's every week, it's a different time. There's no consistency at all with MLS. That's why I like Bundesliga. Every Friday, there's a game at 2:30 Eastern. Every Saturday, you got 9:30 a.m. or it's usually like noon too, and then the latest you'd have a game at 3 o'clock Eastern usually. But at least they stagger it out very nicely, and it's the same times every week. But yeah, give us a follow on our socials, and then we are sponsored by Bino Boards. Thank you to the beautiful, wonderful people at Bino. Very grateful. I can show you, actually. I think this would be a good time. I need to stretch anyways, so let me show you quick. Everybody get up and stretch. Oh, very stiff. I like I said, I woke up like 30 minutes before this stream today, so need it for me. Here's Union and Augsburg. Chance for Union. What a goal! Schaefer. What a strike by Schaefer. 3-0 Union. Top right corner. Pick that out, Augsburg keeper. What a strike. I love the old school scoreboard as well. But look at this. On the right foot. Curls it. Far right corner. Where mama hides the snickerdoodles, I'd like to say. What a shot by Schaefer. Look at the curl on that as well. What a goal. I'll tell you what, if Augsburg had any chance of making Conference League, that's gone. Absolutely gone. Dead and buried, Augsburg. Oh. Shaibi on for Frankfurt. Right, I'm going to show you a Bino board. It's very nice. It comes in this beautiful, you can see this, comes in a beautiful carrying case, very easy to transport around to a picnic or any party, house party you're doing. Any college kids, any ragers, the raves, really any gathering of people you can bring this to. Very easy to transport. I love it. All of the rules of the game are on the back. Ready, set, flick. I suppose I could read this to you. Oh, what a goal! What a goal at St. Pauli! St. Pauli! 1-1. Massive, massive goal. Wow. Huge goal. Reminder, St. Pauli have to get a win. They get one back. It's, I don't know how I say his name, Chesse, off the bench, off a corner kick, leaps like a salmon, great header, past the keeper for Wolfsburg, Zorro. The Zorro lookalike gets beaten, and it's 1-1. Absolute scenes in St. Pauli right now, 1-1. As it stands, Wolfsburg would still be saved and go into the relegation playoff. However, one more goal for St. Pauli, and Wolfsburg are being relegated to Bundesliga 2. Which would be very shocking because Wolfsburg have always been a mid-table team for me since I got into watching Bundesliga. So it would be shocking to see them go down. But yeah, what a moment. I was waiting for a big moment. Every year you get one kind of big moment. Hopefully the St. Pauli game, they can pull through and stave off relegation for the time being. The other game, Heidenheim-Mainz. Poor Heidenheim just can't get anything to go today. Down 2-0 to Mainz, the home wreckers. But as I was saying with Bino Board, it's basically like a flick soccer game. This is what it says on the back. I don't think I've ever read this, actually. In the beginning, Bino Board games were dull. Sorry, in the beginning, board games were dull and uneventful. Most winners were decided by pure luck, rolling dice, or drawing cards. Simply wasn't enough to declare a true winner. We believe that when people succeed, it's because of strategy and hard work, perseverance. We yearned for the same excitement big sporting events produced. On the same playing field as the Super Bowl, the World Cup, the Olympics, and the first annual Bino Carnival Cup. Borussia Dortmund get their goal 1-0 over Werder Bremen on the road. Is that Garassi? It looks like Garassi for Dortmund 1-0. What a ball by Nico Schlotterbeck. Could have been offsides. I think is that Ryerson. Great cross for Garassi. It was Ryerson. Good battle with that defender for Garassi. Wins it and heads it past that Werder Bremen keeper. 1-0 Dortmund. Meaningless game, but good for them. Momentum into next season. Back to this. Aiming to captivate what the players and fans felt, tried and true, every day in your possession. We began by building a strong foundation, a brand that supports core values by encouraging all walks of life to be able to compete against one another to become the ultimate winner. Through relentless blood, sweat, and tears, trial and error, a perfect pitch was coming to life. A new modern board game was created. The Bino Board. What a goal that is. Vieira. I was waiting to see what the selling was going to be. It was a weird run-up. But Vieira, great goal for Hamburger. Fabio Vieira, good strike. 1-0 over Leverkusen. Leverkusen trying to get into Champions League. I told you at halftime I didn't think that was going to happen. Stuttgart just have a stranglehold on that spot. More likely Europa League for Leverkusen. What a goal. Side netting by Fabio Vieira. Settles it down. Left foot finish. Curls it. Beautiful. Very nice. The Bino Board. We had to bring something big to the table. Something bigger than a board game. Says the CEO of Bino Board. But yeah, I can open this for you. So the cool thing about Bino Board, I can show you their website as well, is that they have different themed like football pitches to play on. So you can just get a standard one. They have the different like designs, you know, like the cut of the grass, the horizontal cut. They have like the grid cut grass. They also have team specific ones. So they have like all the MLS teams. They have some European teams like your Liverpools, your turned on what? Hand gestures. I swear these Mac products, Apple products, I don't know what they're doing half the time. But yeah, they have team-specific ones. I know they have a Dortmund one. Ooh, Ooh, chance for Wolfsburg. Corner kick. Good save. Good save by the St. Pauli keeper. Do we have another goal coming? Another goal for Gladbach. Shirley buries Hoffenheim. 3-0 for Gladbach. Hoffenheim down to 10 men. Very disappointing end to what was a pretty good season for Hoffenheim. Oh, goal! Wolfsburg off the corner. Wolfsburg off the corner. The referee is telling him to stay like a dog. Stay, stay, stay. We'll see if this counts. It looks like Wolfsburg are up 2-1 off that corner kick. Peach of a ball. I don't see what's wrong with that. What is wrong with that? He got bumped into. Vasil's arguing he got bumped. He punched it in his own net. He punched it into his own net, Vasil. What's he doing? Oh, what is he doing, Vasil? Horrific mistake. That's the mistake that could get them relegated. Oh. Devastated. I'm devastated for St. Pauli right now. That is horrible. They're taking a look at the goal. I don't see anything wrong with it. I think Vasil punched it in his own net, and he's just arguing with the ref. Don't punch it in your own net. Goalkeeping 101. Always going to VAR. I want to be a football referee just so I can, like, do this to the crowd and then, like, announce it. After review, the call on the field has been looked at and just create suspense. The Pratt keeper for St. Pauli punched it in his own net. There was no foul. We have a good goal. I don't see what's wrong with it. But let me take the Bino bar out of the box here while we wait. He's giving it. He's giving it. 2-1. Wolfsburg. Alexander Blessing, the coach for St. Pauli, can't believe it. I don't know what he's talking about. Just a bad mistake. Punched it in his own net. So now St. Pauli need 2 goals again to get the relegation playoff. As it stands, Wolfsburg are safe. Let me take this out of the box and show you guys. It is a little bit big. Ta-da! So here we go. This is what it looks like being your board. Siri, I'm not talking to you, Siri. Yeah, there you go. This is what it looks like. So my favorite team, my childhood team, is the Seattle Sounders. So they have a Seattle Sounders themed pitch. So I thought I would get that one. Looks very clean, very sharp. And it's like, it's so cool. It's so hard to show you on camera. Like the pitch, it's like artificial. Let me get it straight. It's like artificial turf. Super high quality. Like it's so cool looking. And basically how it works, you have this little ball here. You place it in the middle. Ideally, you'd play with someone, but I'm just going to play with myself here. That's what she said. I'll play against myself here. And you just take turns. You flick it, and you try and score. You just take turns flicking it. You have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players here. There's no goalkeepers, so you have 10 players here. And there's like a bunch of rules with like getting yellow cards and red cards. I'm not going to explain that. But essentially, first 1 to 7 wins, who scores 7 goals. Have a ball, you flick it. It's super nice. I love it. Thank you, Bino Boards. Use that code, Bino Hakeem, 10% off, or head to the link in the video description, and you get 10% off. And you can get your own Bino board, whether you want the classic one or your favorite team. Maybe Germany. They have all the big teams for the World Cup. Germany, US, France, England, etc. Or maybe a Dortmund one. I saw they had a Dortmund one as well. But super high quality, awesome stuff. Thank you, Bino Board. Sign me up, QVC, man. I tell you what, if anyone from QVC is watching, I could sell, give me any product. I could sell the shit out of it for hours. So this is my resume for QVC. Yeah, I think we can leave it. Where should we leave it? Does that work? You can sort of see it. I could put it over here as well. Or would it be better? I have an idea, actually. What if we do that? What if we do that? I'm kind of blocking it, but it's there. Let me scoot the scarves. There you go. You can see it. You can see it there. There you go. I can live with that. So check them out. I can show you guys once the games are over. Being your board, if there's a good moment to cut away here. But yeah, use that code. Link in the video description. Oh, here we go. Here's Cone. In the box. Shot. What a block. Jonathan Tah with the block. Love to see Erbig in net for Bayern as well. An up-and-coming goalkeeper. Great block by Jonathan Tah there. Beautiful. Monster block. Oh, man, here come Wolfsburg. What a cross. Oh, deflects just wide. We're approaching the, what's it called? The quarter hour mark, I think is what it's called. 75 minutes. We're approaching the 75th minute. Crunch time. A goal for Wolfsburg, I think, would put this away. Oh, they're checking for a handball. Here comes Bayern. Harry Kane! Yabba dabba doo! Harry Kane. Harry. The Machine Kane. The hat trick. It's not the perfect German hat trick like on match day 1 of the Bundesliga against Leipzig, but on the final match day of the season, Harry Kane gets a hat trick once again. Amazing, amazing scenes at the Allianz Arena. 4-1 Bayern over Köln. Great. Love it. That'll be a fun day. And of course, they'll be presented the Meisterschalen trophy for winning the Bundesliga once the game ends. That'll be fun to watch. But here we go. This could be it for St. Pauli. I think that is a handball. Hand is stretched. Unnatural position. Ball hits his hand. I think you got to give it. I think that's a clear handball. I think you do have to give it. He's giving it. He's giving it. This is it, everybody. Like Michael Jackson's movie, this is it. If Wolfsburg score here, I think it's all over. I have no idea how St. Pauli's arguing that. That's the clearest handball I've ever seen. One of the more clearest handball decisions I've ever seen. No chance for Union. I think he's offsides. I think he was off. 3-0 Union lead over Augsburg. That was soft. It was a foul. That is soft. Oh, we got goals in Freiburg. 4-1 Freiburg over Leipzig. I was saying Leipzig's kits, they remind me of Barcelona. I don't know if I said that or not. It's like the dark blue with the yellow number kit. I just think of Barcelona. What a performance from Freiburg. You think they'd be resting guys, or you think, oh, who cares? Kind of throw the game away. We're looking forward to that Europa League final. But what a performance against a very good Leipzig team. Granted, Leipzig don't have a lot to play for today. But great performance at home. Get the fans happy. Last home game of the season. Up 4-1. Or they're going to qualify for Conference League, so they're guaranteed European football next season, regardless if they win or lose. In where's that game? In Istanbul, I think is where it's being played. Guaranteed Europe. It's going to be Champions League or a Conference League for Freiburg. I tell you what, if Freiburg making a Champions League, that'd be so awesome. I love that city. The story behind Freiburg, how they started. There's a super awesome documentary that Copa 90 made that you guys just have to check out if you have the time on Freiburg. Just look it up on YouTube. Such a wonderful story of the town, the city, the people. Beautiful. Everything about it's beautiful. So we have a equalizer in Leverkusen. And the world goes on and on and on. Na 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 na. That's their goal song. Well, the goal songs in the Bundesliga are elite. It's an own goal off a Hamburg defender. Off the set piece. Flicked along off the Hamburg defender and in. What can you do? Leverkusen tied. Standings wise, they can't do a whole lot. With Stuttgart up 2-0 still against Frankfurt. No chance of getting into Champions League, really. They're kind of locked in right now with Hoffenheim for Europa League next season. Which, not bad. Not bad. No, 6th place finish. Not horrible. Not super great for Leverkusen standards. I feel like the standards have been risen after they did the double a few seasons ago. Almost did the triple. Oh, that's right. They didn't show the penalty. They missed it. Wow. Here comes Wolfsburg, though. Shot, save, rebound, and it's in. I think that's it for St. Pauli. They missed the penalty. Doesn't matter. They get it back. 3-1 Wolfsburg. 10 minutes to go. Wolfsburg, it looks like they're on their way to a relegation playoff. St. Pauli, Heidenheim. Down to Bundesliga 2 you go. Down to the depths of the Bundesliga. That is sad. I love St. Pauli. They're an amazing club. On and off the pitch. Everything that they stand for. I'm all for it. Tough scenes, though. I thought there was a chance there when they equalized, but this mistakes, goalkeeping blunder on that corner kick. And that's just an easy tap-in goal for Wolfsburg. Very unfortunate. I feel for all of the St. Pauli fans out there. Tough. It's always tough seeing your team get relegated. I've never experienced that personally. My childhood team, the Seattle Sounders, there's no relegation in MLS, so I've never really had to worry about that. But the teams I follow, obviously Dortmund, Bayern, Manchester United are a team I like as well. Never been relegated in my lifetime, at least. Don't really have to worry about that. But I have a penalty for Frankfurt to get something back. And he buries it. 2-1. Jonathan Burkhardt kisses the supporters. Trying to get back into this game. They got 18 minutes left. I'm a big fan of Jonathan Burkhardt. He used to play at Mainz. Oh, the goal songs. Frankfurt's goal song. It's like Mozart's concerto in C major. I don't know. It's awesome. It's like a choir song. Just you got the choir, or not the choir. You got the orchestra vibes in Frankfurt. You got the world goes around, around, around in Leverkusen. Na 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 na. Da 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 na na. You have Dortmund with the Ole Borussia Dortmund, Ole. You have Yabba Dabba Doo in Bayern Munich. I think Borussia Mönchengladbach. No, it's Werder Bremen. Werder Bremen have the. What's there? It's Werder Bremen's. I had it for a second and then it escaped me. I can't remember. It's like da 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 dum ba dum ba dum ba dum bum bum. That song. I don't know who sings it, but I know that song from How I Met Your Mother. It's the song that in Marshall's car. It's like the cassette that's stuck, and it's the same song that repeats when they go on road trips. Da 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 bum ba dum ba dum ba dum ba dum bum bum. But I just love the vibes of the Bundesliga. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I know if you're new to this channel, we just started on Matchday 33 last week. But the plan is for the future, once we get through the World Cup, is to do regular streams on the weekend for Bundesliga. We'll see what work and school looks like in the fall. It's TBD for now. We'll see. But the plan is to do Bundesliga every weekend, at least one watch-along like this, where we interact with you guys and talk. And then we'll do like previews and then recap videos. And then we'll do like fun gaming on FIFA on Twitch. And we'll probably live stream it on Twitch and then upload it on YouTube the next day. So if you like the gaming stuff and into gaming, we'll do that on Twitch. Live stream it at least. But we will upload everything on YouTube. So if you miss it, you can watch the replay on YouTube, of course. But just a new idea I had, just a place to connect with people that love football. I mean, it won't strictly just do Bundesliga. If there's any other big games happening around the world, could be La Liga, could be Premier League, could be, what's the other league? I don't know about French league. Is French league even worth it? It's just like, I feel like French league football, they should just call it PSG football. The PSG league is what they should call it. I feel like it's kind of pointless. But if there's any big game, we'll watch it for sure. Champions League, Europa League, Conference League. Especially if one of our German teams are in it. We'll watch it or try to. Those are more difficult because it's midweek. Good ball there for Hamburger. Cleared away by Leverkusen. And then, of course, we'll do German national team stuff. We'll be live for every game for Germany in the World Cup this summer. I'll do my best to also do the United States, Canada, and Mexico since they're hosts. We'll try and go live almost every day. We got World Cup games like every single day for like a month. So it's going to be very exciting. We'll try and go live as much as possible for that and connect with as many of you crazy but awesome football fans as possible. But yes, if you are new, give us a follow on Twitch. Subscribe to the YouTube bottom right-hand corner. Follow us on X and the Gram at Fussball Fans TV. A bit of a sad moment here for Leon Goretzka. It looks like it's going to be his final game for Bayern Munich. Getting his curtain call here, similar to Zula and Brandt for Dortmund last weekend. I'll give a courtesy clap for Leon Goretzka. Great player for Bayern Munich. I wonder where he's going to go next season, or if he can't be retiring. He's not that old. I think it's still up in the air where Leon Goretzka is going to play next season, but it won't be for Bayern. He might, I don't know where he might go. What team could use a Leon Goretzka? He could go the MLS route. I wouldn't mind that. I'm not sure who could afford him in MLS, but options are there. Seattle Sounders. Leon Goretzka. And we got a goal. I think, was that Elise? Nicholas Jackson. 5-1 for Bayern over Köln. They're up to 122 goals this season. And they've only given up 36 goals. So a plus 86 goal differential. 89 points for Bayern Munich. What's their record? I think they've only lost once this year in the Bundesliga. One loss on the season. 28 wins, 5 draws, 1 loss. Ridiculous season for Bayern. Absolutely ridiculous. Harry Kane, hat trick to start the season. On a hat trick to finish the season. 35 goals, 5 assists. Unreal. Here comes Union Berlin. Shot blocked. Rebound. Can he get it in? Yes, he can. Yes, he can. What a moment. 4-0. Union Berlin over Augsburg. Marie is loving it, the head coach for Union. Optional defending for Augsburg. Who's that guy for Union who scored? Like I said, we're still learning names. Jayon scored for Union to make it 4-0. Does he play on the national team? The name sounds familiar. He might. Well, we've reached 90 minutes, folks. 7 minutes added on in the St. Pauli-Wolfsburg game. And we have another goal for Gladbach. It's Hack. 4-0 Gladbach over Hoffenheim. Any chances to make Champions League for Hoffenheim have been absolutely dead and buried. They've been buried. Nails in the coffin like 20 minutes into the game for Hoffenheim. Just horrible start. Couldn't recover. Guy got sent off 10 seconds into the second half. Horrible stuff. And it epitomizes Hoffenheim's season. Start of the year, they were hot. Super hot. And then once we hit 2026, just slowly kind of... But they've crash landed into Europa League. If you're going to crash land anywhere, crash land into Europa League. It's better than crash landing into relegation zone. Definitely, if you're going to do that. So, yeah, definitely not a bad season, but sour taste in your mouth if you're a Hoffenheim fan over how it ended, I think. Well, we got 6 minutes left for St. Pauli here. They need 2 goals. They got to score 2 past the Legend of Zorro there to save their season. Wolfsburg fans already have the flares going. Oh, boy. Chance there, gets blocked. Yeah, corner kick. They got the flares going. The Wolfsburg traveling supporters. They're all in green raincoats. I love the coordination. The coordination that these fans have. We don't have that here in America. We can't coordinate anything. It looks like a lot of the games are going to go final here. There's a lot of added time in this one, so I think we'll see a lot of the games end here. Be a goal kick. Standings watch. Nothing shifted from the start of the day. There was no big move at all. Everything has stayed the same. Heidenheim and St. Pauli have flip-flopped, but they're both getting relegated currently. Their top four stayed the same. Europa League stayed the same. Conference League stayed the same. Yeah, everything is elementary today. No big moments, really. There's a chance there when St. Pauli equalized, and I was thinking, oh boy, this is it. This is our big moment, but everything stayed put today. A bit of a somber, slow final day of the season, I would say. Here we go. Here's Julian Brandt. Final game for Dortmund. Adeyemi. Shot, and it's in! Jan Koto. 2-0 for Borussia Dortmund. On the road. Great way to end the season. Niko Kovac looks pleased. Five seconds left in Heidenheim's season in Bundesliga. And there you go. That's it. It finishes Mainz 2, Heidenheim 0. They needed a result, Heidenheim, to give themselves a chance in the relegation playoff. They do not. They're heading down to the depths, to Davy Jones' locker or Bundesliga 2 next season. Very sad. I've always liked Heidenheim. Always been a big fan. But we'll miss them. We'll miss them next season. They've always been kind of like a firecracker team. I remember one stream we did last season on my own channel, Heidenheim, Bayern. Bayern up 3-0. Heidenheim scored 2 quick goals, make it 3-2, almost made it 3-3, but then Bayern won 4-2. Just insane finish. But yeah, all eyes on this game here. We got a minute left. St. Pauli, Wolfsburg, 3-1 for Wolfsburg. Disappointing afternoon for St. Pauli. The odds were against them at the start. They had a chance there at 1-1, but just sloppy mistakes at the back. Goalkeeper punched it in his own net. The difference today. But good for Wolfsburg. They're definitely a team that it would have been shocking if they got sent down. I think, for me at least, they've always been a mid-table team since I got into watching Bundesliga around COVID. So definitely would have been shocking if they got sent down, but very sad. I love, like I said, I love St. Pauli, so this is a little sad, but it's the cruel reality of relegation football. I wish we had it here in the States, but it just creates so much drama, right? Americans love drama. You think we'd be all over it, but apparently not. And that's the final whistle. Wolfsburg 3, St. Pauli 1. St. Pauli needed a result today and some help. Didn't get it. And they're down to the depths of Davy Jones' locker as well with Heidenheim and Bundesliga 2. Wolfsburg are not safe, though. This result gives Wolfsburg a chance to stay up. Reminder, they still have to play a relegation relegation playoff against the third place team in Bundesliga 2, which will be decided tomorrow. So we'll know the matchup for that series tomorrow afternoon. And we'll try and do live streams for it. I believe it's a 2-legged series to determine who will stay up or get promoted to Bundesliga next season in that third spot. So definitely the job is not done for Wolfsburg, but they give themselves a chance to stay up next season. But still work to be done for Wolfsburg. Perfect. We still got a minute left in Bayern and Köln. Watching the end of this game. Can they get more Bayern? They're up 5-1 on Köln. I'm sensing a lot of party vibes here at the Allianz Arena. Bayern, of course, won Bundesliga. They'll be presented the Meisterschalen Trophy today once this game is over. Next stop for Bayern Munich, though, after this game, is to win the double. A bit like Leverkusen a couple seasons ago, win the double. And that'll do it. Bayern 5, Köln 1. Great ending to the season for Bayern Munich. 1 loss on the year, 28 wins, 5 draws, 122 goals scored, 36 goals against, Bundesliga record, plus 86 goal differential, 89 points. Harry Kane started the season with a hat trick against Leipzig, ends the season with a hat trick against Köln, 35 goals scored, 5 assists for the man, the myth, the legend, Harry Kane. Unreal season for Bayern, looking to cap it off in the DFB Pokal final next weekend against Stuttgart in Berlin. Super excited for that one. We will be live next weekend for that game. Don't forget about that. We still have a game going, Stuttgart and Eintracht Frankfurt. 4 minutes of added time here. Penalty! A penalty for Frankfurt. Wow. Chance to equalize for Frankfurt. Unfortunately, though, it won't matter for Hoffenheim because they would drop to 62 points Stuttgart if Frankfurt equalize. Hoffenheim currently on 61 because they lost today. So it does not matter. Stuttgart, even if they lost this game, they would still be in Champions League. So unless they lost by a significant amount here, which wouldn't happen because there's 2 minutes left in the game. But doesn't really matter. For Frankfurt, this wouldn't do anything for their hopes of Europe either. Freiburg have already clinched it. But a bit of a consolation prize for Frankfurt to equalize in the game. Jonathan Burkhardt buries the penalty again. 2-2 game. Cue the Beethoven music. We'll see if they can get the game winner. Send the fans happy at the Deutsche Bank Park. 2 penalties for Frankfurt today. Right down Broadway. That's always risky to put it right down Broadway, right down the middle like that. But, I mean, if you make it, you look like a hero. If you miss it, you look like a zero. You look like a prime prat if you miss it and you hit it right down the middle. But good penalties by Jonathan Burkhardt. 12 goals this season. A player who I've grown to love when he was at Mainz. Glad he's doing well in Frankfurt. About a minute to go here for Frankfurt. Can they get the match winner as a consolation prize for missing European football? They're going with the long throw, and it looks like. Cleared away by Stuttgart. You feel for Hoffenheim, they were a point away from Champions League football, or 2 points away from Champions League football this season. That's brutal. That's brutal. Their own fault, though. They were in prime position to get Champions League this season, and they just blew it. Oh, chance here. Frankfurt! Save by Nubel. Glorious chance for Frankfurt to get the winner. The shot was right at Nubel, though. Love the fight from Frankfurt. Love this fight. But here comes Stuttgart. Whoa. Good defense. Omenda. Great defense. Ooh. Amenda. Stuttgart not happy that Amenda is holding on to the ball. Is that what that said? Thanks for nothing, Alberto. I hope that's not directed at the coach. That'd be, that's a bit mean. Corner kick for Stuttgart. We're on the 5th minute of stoppage time here. Good to know that my clock resets once we hit the hour mark. Very good to know. And that's it. The final game of this Bundesliga season for 2025-2026. The season is in the books. This one ends Frankfurt 2, Stuttgart 2. Jonathan Burkhardt with 2 penalties to equalize for Stuttgart. Consolation prize. They fall short of their goals to reach the Conference League today. And Stuttgart do enough to get Champions League football for next season. Very good stuff by Stuttgart. Like I said, they were a team a couple of years ago that were in Wolfsburg position. They were in that relegation playoff and won the game or the series, and then now they're challenging for top 4 every year. Very good stuff for Stuttgart. So that's it. All the games are over. They're presenting the trophies at the Allianz right now. Look at Jamal Musiala and Alphonso Davies. They're chilling down there. Wonder what they're talking about. Yeah, bro. Meisterschalen. Great. I want Dia people call. That's what they're talking about. Oh, no. What they're talking about? They're talking about, I want some McNuggets. I want some McNuggets. Let's go to McDonald's after. But let's show you the final standings. Let's just do a bit of a recap here, and then we'll sign off for the day. But here, I was going to record a match reaction. Let's just record that now. So I'm going to do a whole spiel like, hey, everybody, welcome to the channel, yada, yada, yada. I'm just going to record that now while we're live. Anybody watching wants to chuck in some comments while we do it, let me know. But I'm just going to go for it. Okay, got to get ready. Okay, ready? Here we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Fussball Fanatics. Match day 34 in the Bundesliga is in the books, which means the 2025-2026 Bundesliga season is in the books. Thank you so much for watching. Let's show you the standings as it ends this season in the Bundesliga. Bayern Munich win the Meisterschalen. Historic season for them. 28 wins, 5 draws, 1 loss, 122 goals scored, 36 goals conceded, plus 86 goal differential, Bundesliga record, 89 points. Absolute historic season. They're not done yet, though. Big win today against Cologne, 5-1. Or Cologne. Let me know how to pronounce it in the comments. I don't know if it's Cologne or Cologne. The Goats, the Billy Goats. 5-1 win over the Billy Goats. Next weekend, looking ahead, they do play in the DFB Pokal final against Stuttgart, looking for the double, the domestic double, the double D, as they say, the DD. Borussia Dortmund finished second with 73 points. Not a bad season for Dortmund at all. 5 losses, but a lot of those losses came once Bayern clinched the Bundesliga season. They were hanging tough there with Bayern, but just historic season for Bayern. Nothing to hang your head for Dortmund. RB Leipzig with a great season. Good bounce back season for them. They missed out on European football last season. This year, get in the top 4, finish 3rd, get Champions League football back, which is great. Stuttgart do a great job as well, getting Champions League football by 1 point over Hoffenheim. Hoffenheim were a top 4 team for most of the season, but once we flipped the calendar to 2026, it just completely went kaput for Hoffenheim. Stuttgart do enough on the final day with the with the draw against Frankfurt. There was a last-second equalizer by Burkhardt on a penalty for the draw. But Stuttgart do get Champions League. Hoffenheim fall to Europa League in 5th place. Leverkusen get Europa League as well. Tough game today. Drew to Hamburg at home. Better than a loss, though, I guess. And then Freiburg with a massive victory today over RB Leipzig, 4-1. Great send-off game at home for them. Not only do they get a great win for the fans, final home game of the season, they guaranteed themselves European football next season. So they are in the Europa League final. If they win that, they're in Champions League. If they lose, they have a safety net of they'll be in the Conference League next season via the standings, finishing in 7th. Great for them. Frankfurt fall short of Conference League in 8th. Augsburg in 9th. They had a chance at Conference League today. Didn't work out. And then we basically have your mid-table teams. Mainz, Union Berlin, Gladbach, Hamburg, Köln, Werder Bremen. But the big news today was this relegation battle. All 3 of these teams were tied on 26 points heading into today. Wolfsburg and St. Pauli played each other today, so that was the big game to watch. And Wolfsburg, there's some nervy moments there. St. Pauli did equalize 1-1 in the second half, but mistake at the back by the St. Pauli keeper. Vasilj punched it in his own net off a set piece, and then optional defending at the back for St. Pauli. Conceded 3 goals today, lost 3-1. So tough results. It was a home game for St. Pauli as well, so really hard to watch for the fans. Heidenheim also needed to get a result today to stave off relegation. Unfortunately, at home as well, just a poor performance against Mainz. They lose 2-0. So Heidenheim and St. Pauli get relegated to Bundesliga 2. And Wolfsburg give themselves a chance in the relegation playoff. They will play the 3rd place team in Bundesliga 2 at some point next week. We don't know who that team is. That's going to be decided tomorrow when Bundesliga 2 wraps up tomorrow afternoon. And one thing I do have to say, I said this on the Watchalong, Mainz. I'm calling Mainz the home wreckers. And the reason why I'm calling them home wreckers is because if you remember a couple seasons ago, Mainz were on the road against Borussia Dortmund, final day of the season. All Borussia Dortmund had to do was win their game. Mainz ruined it, spoiled the party for Dortmund. Bayern won the title via Jamal Musiala's last kick of the game against Köln. Today, fast forward to today, Mainz against Heidenheim. Mainz spoil the party at Heidenheim and relegate them. So that's why I'm calling Mainz the home record. It's this, you don't want to play Mainz on the final day of the season. They're going to hand you an L. So hopefully you're not in a position where you need to win. Because Mainz are just lethal on the final day of the season for whatever reason. So that is your table for the season. Heidenheim, St. Pauli go down. Wolfsburg, relegation playoff. Freiburg, Conference League, TBD. They could be in Champions League if they win. Europa League final. Leverkusen, Hoffenheim, Europa League. Stuttgart, Leipzig, Dortmund, Bayern in the Champions League. Bayern Munich, your Meisterschalen champions, watching the post-match coverage now at the Allianz. Very festive vibes there. But that is the season. I'd like to thank everyone who watched or joined us this season on Bundesliga. We'll be back for Bundesliga next season. It's not the end for the channel. Obviously, we have the DFB Pokal next weekend that we'll do a watch-along for. And then, of course, we have the big tournament this summer, the World Cup. We'll be covering Team Germany for the entirety of the World Cup. We'll try my best to also cover the U.S. as well, Canada, Mexico. We got football every single day for a month, so I'll try and go live as much as possible. So if you're a football fan out there, you love interacting, you want to connect with other football people, tune in, Fussball Fanatics. Give us a follow on Twitch. Subscribe to the YouTube bottom right-hand corner. Like the video. If you want, give us a follow on our social media handles at FussballFansTV is our Instagram and Twitter. Also, I'd like to shout out Binho Boards for sponsoring this match recap. Head to the link in the video description, and you can get your own Binho board, like in the back here, of your favorite team or national team, and you can play with friends and family. Flick football game is what Binho board is all about. So great to bring to a party, watch-along party, any type of gathering. You can play it with your mom, your father, brother, sister, grandma, grandpa. Anyone can play, as long as they have fingers, of course. But yes, thank you, Binho Boards, for sponsoring. And I'd like to thank you again for watching this. Thank you so much. What a season it was in the Bundesliga. Historic season for Bayern. Very sad to see St. Pauli go down, however, but they'll be back. I have faith in St. Pauli. And just as a reminder, Bundesliga 2 will wrap up tomorrow. But the teams that have been guaranteed spots in Bundesliga next season, Schalke have already clinched first place, so they will be back in Bundesliga next season, which is awesome. We have the Rivar Derby back between Schalke and Borussia Dortmund, huge rivals, if you didn't know. So glad to have that rivalry back. Elversberg, Hanover, and Paderborn. So we have a 3-team race for 2 spots. We have a 3-team race for 1 automatic promotion spot, and a 3-team race for the qualification spots to get in the playoff, that playoff relegation. So if Paderborn, Hanover finish third, or Elfsberg could finish third, they would play Wolfsburg in I believe it's a 2-legged series to qualify for Bundesliga. Next season, loser remains in Bundesliga 2. So a lot to look forward to tomorrow. I will not be live for any of those games, but I definitely will be watching. Personally, I would like to see... I've never seen Elversberg play. I've never seen Hanover play. I don't think Paderborn... Maybe Paderborn were in the Bundesliga when I got into it. I got into watching Bundesliga during COVID. I don't remember if Paderborn were in Bundesliga at the time. They might have been, but it'd be cool to see 3 new teams in it. But we'll see. Usually the top 2 teams. It's very rarely that third place team beats the Bundesliga team. But we'll see. But yes, thank you everybody for watching. I'll wrap this up. Sorry for rambling on there. Early morning for me. My brain is like mush right now at time of filming this. Thank you. I would like to end the videos by saying it's such a crazy world out there. Sending all my love from me to you and to everybody around the world. I'd like to use some love right now. Hope we're doing well. Hope we're doing okay. Hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And I will speak to you soon. Peace. Right. End. Cut. That's good. That's a good match recap. Everyone watching live on the stream. I didn't hit record, by the way. So I'm going to have to I'll screen capture that. That's okay. Of course I didn't hit record. I'll screen capture that. I'll upload that on my YouTube channel. So make sure you do give us a follow and subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. But as I mentioned, we will be back next week for the DFB Pokal final. Bayern, Stuttgart, 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Be there or be square. Congratulations to Bayern. Congratulations to all the top 4 teams that made Champions League. Condolences to any St. Pauli, Heidenheim fans. That's tough. But you'll be back. You'll be okay. You'll definitely be back. Right. Thank you. And I shall speak to you soon. Great stream, everybody. The tech worked. Awesome. You guys were legends. Thank you so much. Speak to you soon. The champions. We are the champions. No time for losers, 'cause we are the champions of the world.